Do you wave your terrible towel when Renegade plays? Reach for a tasty cake when JJ shouts, "He scores!" Does the sound of an F1 engine make your heart race? Doing push-ups with a Nittany Lion after a TD? Then lend us an ear, and we will share the exhilaration of Steelers football, the excitement of Flyers hockey, the nail-biting finishes of F1, and the pride when we yell, "We are Penn State." Welcome to the SteelFlyers show, the strangest combination of sports fandom since pineapple was put on pizza.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Say hello to your host, SteelFlyers.
Well, greetings and salutations. Thank you very much for our co-host, RoNece, and thank you for that great introduction. How are you doing, co-host?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I am just peachy dandy.
Okay. We're into sports universe central right now.
I mean, it's like the planets have all aligned, and they've brought us all of the majors and some fun extras and all kinds of great stuff. We got college football now is in full swing. Penn State's playing. We got Pittsburgh playing in the NFL is in week 5.
Already?
Oh, we're coming up on week 6 here.
It's crazy.
Already. Yeah.
It's a long season now, though. So
Right, and we are going to have hockey is starting here real soon for the Flyers, but the NHL starts tonight.
Right. The first game of the Seattle Kraken is tonight.
Yep, that's against the Vegas Golden Knights, and that's going to be an awesome game to be checking out. So,
did they do that because they're the most recent expansion team, so they made them play against each other?
You think so? Just like they thought that they were going to get this major draw with putting the reigning Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning against none other than the darling of the NHL, the Pittsburgh the Penguins.
Be nice.
And well, Crosby's not playing, Malkin's not playing. There's a couple other players that are not playing.
This is all because of injuries, right?
All because of injuries, exactly. And so it's like, yeah, boy, that game didn't quite turn out the way y'all wanted that one to turn out because they wanted, they wanted Tampa Bay Lightning thinking that Pittsburgh was gonna,
be a challenge, which they're not.
Because they won the division last year, or made the playoffs last year, and then just look, it's going to be really tough. I'm not trying to, all I'm going to say is that I think Pittsburgh is going to take a step back this year as far as the Penguins are concerned.
Well, you've got a lot of players on their team that are getting older.
That's true too, but here's the other thing too, and they also re-signed their same goalie tandem. Anyway, but if the Penguins can win or be successful while Malkin and Crosby are out, then they have a chance. But if they're not going to be able to, depending on how long they're both out, then I think that's going to be the demise of their season. So we are having meaningful games of NHL hockey is starting on October 12th is when we're recording this. So the Tampa Bay Lightning are facing off against the...
It's going to be hopefully a regular season. We'll get all of the games in. We'll get all the playoffs in.
On time.
Yeah, it won't be crazy like having 4 or 5 games a week.
Well, there's going to be that. It's just that the games are going to be spread out a little bit more.
Well, yeah, but they're not all on the same day.
Well, yeah, but I mean, there is going to be somewhat of a condensed schedule because there is going to be a Olympic break this year.
That's true, I forgot.
Okay, so even though they are going to be playing 82 games, and it is spread out over the regular amount of time, here's the other thing, too. We're still dealing with the protocols.
Right.
And so there were quite a few players, I believe, from the Kraken
that are on COVID.
that are in protocol. So I don't know if that's probably gonna affect the lineup for tonight, or for their first game here against Vegas. And Vegas is also, I believe, has some injuries as well too. So it's kind of like the medical unit against the medical unit here, I guess, because almost all, everybody's out or hurt or something,
So I saw this question earlier. I'm not sure if you have enough knowledge for this, but I'll ask you anyway. Who do you think will score the first goal for the Kraken?
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I think I saw it on Twitter, Instagram, or something.
Oh, really? I think it's going to be one of their defensemen, to be honest with you.
Why?
Because they don't really have... Their offense is not... And Hackstall's, as far as coaches, doesn't really put offense first, or when I think it's going to be one of their defensemen.
Which one? I was just wondering what you thought.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's because we haven't seen them play at all, so I have no clue.
We were talking about that earlier.
I'm not a betting man, so I got no clue.
We were talking about how we have no idea what to expect from them because...
They haven't played a game yet.
Right. So do we base our guesses on how Hackstall coached the Flyers? Do we think maybe we look at his college, how he coached his college teams, you know?
I mean, we have a rather large sample size of what he is.
I mean, that's what we have to go on. I don't think he's going to change
as far
that
as
much.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as the type of coach that he is, do you know what I mean? So I honestly, depending on who's in for them, I think I'll go with Giordano.
Okay.
That's their captain guy. If he's not in, then I'll go with Larson. I still think it's going to be a defenseman, no matter who it is. It might be, one of those two, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's just, and with with Hackstall's record of offense-less type of teams that he's coached.
Okay.
I had to say that slowly so I could get it out correctly.
Well, you didn't want your tongue to snap off and roll away.
Well, it was snapping off on that one, but yeah. All right. But looking forward to seeing Seattle play, and I'm really excited about the fact that they were able to get the team up and running, and so I really I like how this team was built. I like how they're built basically from the pipes out, meaning they put the best goalies they possibly could in net, and then they built a huge, great defense around them. So it's going to be, I think,
which speaks more to Hackstall's style, which he's more defensive than he is offensive.
Right?
Yeah,
so right, and so these games are going to be 3-2, 1-0, 2-1.
We hope.
No, but I mean, that's what these games... It doesn't matter if they win or lose. Those are going to be the scores of some of these games.
Okay.
Okay? It's whether they're on the winning side or the losing side. There's not going to be a lot of goals scored.
Okay.
In these games against Seattle. At least that's kind of what I'm sprinkling in with my predictions anyway.
Okay.
So... But we're also excited to talk about the Flyers are going to be starting on Friday, the 15th against Vancouver.
Yes, they are.
And I'm telling you what now, there's been a huge amount of turnaround in Philadelphia that's been well documented.
Yeah.
It's been well documented that certain players were sent back down and certain other players stayed.
Yeah, and when a lot of people weren't happy about that, but...
A lot of fans were not happy. You're right. A lot of fans were not happy about the fact that Morgan Frost was sent down. But I really can see why they did that. And it's like, how many more chances are you going to give this kid? This is it here, I think. I think this is his opportunity now where he goes down to the Phantoms now. He played, the Phantoms started their camp the other day, and he was able to go in there and play in one of their preseason games and light it up. Well, 3 goals, and, that with Tyson Forster on his line and everything. I mean, that's what you want to see him do. You know what I mean? You want to see him, light it up down there. So
right,
I mean,
so he can start coming back.
Exactly, because he's been out. He's had a major surgery. He was out for the whole season last year due to that injury and everything, and it's tough to come back from that. I'm not trying to give the kid excuses, but I believe he's a first round 2017 draft pick, and this is put up or shut up time for him.
Right. You've had some time. Let's see what you got.
He's had opportunity when Hayes went down this preseason, when they knew that Hayes was going to be out, and he was given prime opportunity to play with Giroux and Couturier and Konechny and the rest, and he was just not able to do anything. And he just wasn't able to produce.
Well, obviously he didn't impress them because they sent him down. So
exactly, and they brought in other guys in the offseason, Broussard, Thompson, and now Patrick Brown, that they claimed off of waivers the other day. Pretty much building that depth at center. I guess they pretty much thought that Frost was not going to be ready. I can just surmise. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have no clue. I'm not in the room or anything like that. You know what I mean? So, the Flyers did release their opening night roster, I believe, earlier today. That's the October 12th. And so, do you think there's any... I'm a little bit taken aback by some of the players that are on the list.
Why? Which ones are concerning?
The one that stands out the most is Braun.
Well, okay, yeah, that's...
But I just have this deep-seated dislike for his game. Let's put it that way. I have nothing against him personally.
Right.
He's a good guy. He's a good veteran. He's a leader. He does things the right way. I just don't feel he has the tools anymore to do the job, and frankly, I believe there is potentially other players that could be there to do that job
better
without him. I think another reason why he's going to be there as well is because he started to have chemistry with Yandel in the preseason. Also, almost everybody's going to be a little bit different this year because of Ristolainen being in the lineup, hopefully, and Ellis being in the lineup, hopefully. I've seen that they have missed a few practices, but...
Yeah. Was that injuries, or...?
I've seen that they've missed a few practices, but
no reason why.
That's all I got. That's
all
I got. Okay.
I was just wondering.
Right. And the injury bug has definitely taken a hold of the Flyers in this preseason here, where, Hayes is out. Moran is out as well. And Zamula is out. Wade Allison, that was another player that I felt was going to be a major impact for the Flyers. He's going to be out for an indefinite amount of time with a very serious ankle injury.
Oh, no.
Yeah, they're just saying that it's just not going to be anytime soon is all I hear. Right? Or all I read or whatever, anything that I've ever seen anything about him is that, it's not anything anytime soon.
So it's pretty intense.
There's different grades of ankle sprains, and I guess it's probably beyond the worst grade if they're saying it's that bad. So, I mean, I don't know if that's a surgery or if he has to heal to a point where they can do a surgery, or I don't know. And they're not really saying anything either. So, and they don't really have to.
No.
So, we're kind of up in the air on that. But the defense is as expected. I was expecting Yandel to make it. I was expecting, obviously, Ristolainen and Ellis to make it as well, too. So I wasn't really surprised about that. A little bit surprised about the Justin Braun, but because he has the chemistry with Yandel, and maybe he doesn't only play, 11 minutes a game. That would be nice if I rarely see him out there. Like no power play time, no penalty kill time, just...
You realize you're just absolutely jinxing yourself. He'll be on every play, every game.
Well, yeah, because he was in every game last year. He played in every game.
And we know this because every time he came on the screen, you were like, oh, look, there's Braun.
Again. And everybody's like, oh, Braun is this and Braun is that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, like I said, I'm not trying to take anything away from the guy and the fact that he's a really nice guy and all that other stuff. I really feel that I would much rather see another player in there potentially. I know that we're kind of hurt right now with Moran down and Zamula down and some other players as well too. So I understand why he's playing and he's in the opening night roster, but
just learn to accept.
Can he? Somebody please needs to. Okay. So then, does that mean? Oh, all right. Here's the question then. If it gets to a point and somebody goes down, like say Ellis goes down,
yeah,
that's still the only way that he wouldn't be in the lineup is if he gets hurt.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because even if somebody else goes down, you know what I mean? Then they're just going to bring somebody else and he'll still be there. So, okay. Well, yes, I'm trying to figure out a way for him to not play.
I know.
Yeah. I think he's a liability. That's why I have an issue with it.
I know. And we've talked about this before, but...
Yeah. But aside from all that, I'm really excited. I really am really excited to see how Derek Broussard came through in the preseason, played really well. Was excited to see that. I'm a little bit surprised that we didn't see Nick Sealer. I thought he was going to come in, but because of Patrick Brown, they sent Nick Sealer back. So that's kind of where I was thinking that was going to go. Nate Thompson they brought back. Knack, I hope he gets his head screwed on correctly.
Why?
Because he needs to, not be taking penalties and, things like that. So like I said, I hope he's got his head screwed. I love his game and everything and things like that. So it would be nice to see him play well as too. Joel Farabee coming back along with Claude Giroux, JVR. Can't wait to see Lindblom fully healthy.
Yeah,
playing.
He wasn't all the way back last year.
Man, I am so excited to see that. Scotty Lawton is looking to have another good year. Derek Broussard has been a surprise, cheap find for the Flyers. Philadelphia signed him for a cheap amount of money for a 1-year deal to come in and potentially, look what he's doing. It's depth. And as you can see, the last couple of years, the last, few teams that have won the Stanley Cup, they won it because they had a lot of depth. All you have to do is look at Tampa Bay in the last 2 years, and all you can see is up and down their lineup is a lot of depth.
Right. So they don't... Everybody's playing, there's always somebody to take a place.
Exactly.
Without losing quality.
Exactly. The other day, our premiering today, the 12th of October, was the show, the Philadelphia Flyers 2021 preview show with Jim Jackson that I was fortunate and honored enough to do. We talked about a lot of those players like Travis Konechny having a bounce-back year, Carter Hart having a bounce-back year.
Let me ask you a question about that. Because he signed a contract this year, correct, Carter Hart? Or got an extension?
Yeah, he signed his ELC expired, and so he signed a I guess they're calling it a contract or an extension, but I think it's a contract. It's his next contract after his ELC.
Okay. So, we know he kind of fell apart last year.
And he was hurt, too.
And he was hurt.
Yep.
So what happens this year if he doesn't live up to this expectation that everyone has? Is he going to be gone?
Gone? He was signed to 3 years.
Okay, so...
So, gone? I don't know.
Is he gonna...
That means...
Here's my fear. He's going to be another Bob.
I don't... It doesn't seem like that. He seems like he's doing the right things. It doesn't seem like... It just doesn't... I don't know. He seems like a much more mature young man to allow that to affect him like that. I just really hope he's in a better place mentally. You know, look. He is very, very young. He just turned 24 or 23 or something like that. You know what I mean? And after, with what he had to deal with last year, being in the apartment by himself, you know, not able to go see family or anything because of the quarantine and because of travel restrictions and blah, 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 yakety schmackety. And so the guy pretty much went home and took the game home with him and had nobody to kind of bounce anything off of, really, other than...
His teammates.
And well, you can't really do that. And then there was really no practice time.
Yeah, I think that really hurt us.
I mean, that's how... And you know, when we talk to the great guardian of the blue paint turned writer, Lance Green, he always says that, you know, that's how you get out of those types of situations where you have to play your way out of it or practice your way out of it sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, and
it's the yips.
I wouldn't call it that.
I think it's the yips. Because once you start getting in your head, you miss a couple goals and then you get in your head and then you're like, I can't, and then you try too hard and you start overthinking.
Okay, but I'm going to say this. And this is one thing that Lance pointed out. And he said that goaltenders tend to be superstitious.
Really?
Yeah, right. That's what I said too. Like, really? Like, that's a major revelation there, Mr. Green, you know.
That's like saying wrestling's not real.
Oh, it's real. They just know what's coming. It's real. They just know they're going to get slammed on the turf 25 times
anyway,
tonight.
Sorry, segue.
You know what I mean? So, what were we talking about?
We were talking about Cam York. I mean, Carter Hart.
Carter Hart. Oh, that's right. Okay. Carter Hart needing to have his bounce back year and being, you know.
And you were talking about Lance and how practicing and playing gets you out of that.
Yeah. So Carter Hart, I believe, kind of got into that little bit of superstition and believe in the superstition more than believe in the actual ability of the player.
Okay.
Like, the example that Lance gave me was you wear the same undershirt.
Well, yeah, that's...
No, but and then you do the same routine. You have a sleep, then you have a pasta dinner, then you have a workout, and then you have a sleep and a shower, and you go to the game, or, you know, I mean, all these routines and all these things that you do before the game, or, you know, whatever the case is sometimes what Lance he said, sometimes you start to believe more in that. And, you know, and Perlo even said something like that too. I was like, man, what? All right, okay. You know, that you kind of get more believing into that than you do into believing into, you know, hey, I'm actually a pretty good goalie, and if I just go out there and do it, it doesn't matter if I, you know, had pasta tonight or if I walk the you know, the exact 72 steps that it is from the car to the locker room, or I mean, you know what I'm saying.
You got to break the superstition,
or you got to not be believing in the fact that that's why you're good.
Right.
That these are the reasons why you're good is because you're doing all these things. No. The reason why you're good is because you have talent, skill, and athletic ability, and, you know, intuition and whatever. You know, God
Right. blessed
you and said, yes, you can play hockey really good at this position.
Okay.
Well, seriously, how many? I mean, okay. Here's a question for you.
All right.
Do you honestly think that anybody on the planet can just suit up and play goalie?
Oh no.
Okay.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
And so it takes a very special human being to play goalie.
Yes.
Okay? That takes a bit of courage. We'll call it that. You have to have a big set of courage.
Yeah, big set of them.
Big set of courage to stand in there and allow somebody to do slap shots at you.
Yeah, let me hit this little rubber
disc
at you 100 miles an hour,
Yeah.
and you have to catch it.
As hard as I can, and you have to just get in the way and stop it from going into the net. No, sorry, no. There is not enough padding on this planet that's going to make me even feel remotely comfortable about standing in there and doing that.
That's why we respect the goalie.
Exactly. And so, but yeah, that's kind of what we were talking about there is getting more into that portion of it instead of just, doing it.
Right.
And then he got hurt, and then there was the whole, it
was a crappy year.
It was all in relation to a lot of things happened, and now here we are now where I believe that, and I said this in our preview show, I believe that the general manager of the Philadelphia Flyers has pushed his chips all into the middle of the table, going all in. He traded a number 1 draft pick for Ristolainen, okay, and then he signed Sean Couturier to a long-term deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Signed a bunch of other people, brought in a bunch of other people, brought in a bunch of leadership people, brought in a bunch of AV / Chuck Fletcher guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
That he brought in guys that either played with Hayes or that knew AV or that had played under Fletcher at some point.
Right.
So and Fletcher even went out and got his best friend as one of his coaches now to replace Ian LaPerriere.
Okay.
Okay. And
who's coaching the Phantoms this year?
Ian LaPerriere is, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And we even touched on that too with Jason Smith, another ex-Philadelphia Flyer, who was captain. I mean, having those two guys down there with the Phantoms is going to help them learn and teach them, and so okay. And I think the Phantoms are stacked. I really do.
Well, maybe the Phantoms will have a really good year.
They did last year too. I mean, they just kind of got the whole AHL got pretty much undertowed by the COVID thing because they didn't allow anybody in the stands, and it was really tough for them to do anything because they don't have the TV contracts.
Right, we went into that a lot.
Right, and so having them back, having the AHL back with fans in the stands is going to be awesome sauce because that helps to support them.
Speaking of the AHL, Hershey Bears, we know somebody who sang the national anthem for them and is probably going to do it again.
Yes, we do. I wonder if Bob would like to be on.
Maybe we could get him to sing for us.
We just so happen to know this really wonderful, wonderful singer who just so happens to sing the national anthem for one of our local minor league teams here. Well, they're not really. The Barnstormers are not part of the minor leagues because they don't have a major league affiliate, but they do kind of play in that same level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he sang for them
a couple of times,
and now he's singing for the Hershey Bears. So yeah, that's pretty awesome. I that's commendable, and he's got an amazing voice, and
yeah, he does.
We get to appreciate Lauren Hart when she sings for the Flyers.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And she is rated the best in the country, national anthem singers in the country. And I'll tell you what, for as a woman, I would say she is the best as a woman. But I would have to say, man, I would put Bob in front of anybody.
Oh yeah, he'd have no problem.
Because his voice is just, it's like, okay, I'm gonna date us and throw everybody off kilter here, but a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, there was a guy named Jim Nabors. And Jim Nabors was the guy that played Gomer Pyle, but he also sang like operatic.
Yeah, the first time I ever saw him like sing, because I'd only ever known him as Gomer Pyle, I thought it was like.
Yeah, to do that. Yeah, wait a minute. Wait.
You know, like fake. I thought there is no way that's him.
Right.
But yeah.
What's really amazing is that they actually did it in the one episode where he faked that he couldn't.
Yeah, when Barney wanted to sing and all that. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. We went off on another tangent there.
Sorry about that.
All in all,
let's put that in the words of Jeremy Clarkson. We can edit that, right?
Yeah, we can edit that out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no. All right, so going into the season here, I think one of the biggest storylines for me is the play of Carter Hart and Martin Jones. Martin Jones needs to win a good percentage of the games that he is in, and Carter Hart needs to be at that Carter Hart level that he was before we went into the bubble.
Right.
Okay.
What do you think of Martin Jones?
I haven't seen enough of him yet. A few years ago, he had like 4 years in a row there where, I mean, he was in the Vezina conversation. Okay. But the last couple of years, not so much now because of where he's been playing, which has been in San Jose. And San Jose has been utterly terrible the last couple of years. You know what I mean? So he's now with Coach Kim. So he was under him at one point before in his life.
Okay.
You know, and so he's now back underneath the same coach. So I think that was the reason why they brought Martin Jones in. He's only in for a 1-year deal. You know what I mean? So it's like, if it doesn't work out, then okay.
Is that because they can't afford it, or because that's what they wanted to do?
I think that's kind of what they wanted to do, because I'm really hoping that one of these other goalies that we have in our system, or potentially another free agent goalie that might come available, or whatever the case is, might be another good person to come in and bring in for Carter Hart. And it's all gonna depend on Mr. Hart.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, he can't play all the games, so we have to have a backup.
Right. So we pretty much think that the backup is gonna have to play about. It's gonna be like a 60-40 split.
Okay.
Right, where you'll see like Carter Hart will probably play like 50 games. Right, and you'll see Jones play like 32 games maybe, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Like a backup should.
Well, there's some goalies out there that, you know, Vasilevsky from Tampa Bay will probably play 60 games.
Wow.
Yeah. And Holtby, when he was a starter, when he played for Washington, he played 60-odd games, you know, for the season. Yeah. And when Martin Brodeur was in, he played 60-odd games.
Yeah, I don't remember anybody else playing. Every time we played them, it was Brodeur.
I mean, once or twice.
Maybe.
There was the backup goalie that came in, yeah. But for the most part, yeah. That's kind of those goalies now are few and far between now, where most guys now, or most teams now, are building it to where there's two goalies.
Right.
You know, and that's why each of the goalies has to kind of be like a 1A and a 1B.
Right.
So now you've just increased your amount of money that you have to spend for goalies now, because now you have to have a backup goalie who pretty much could be the number one guy.
Right, but just isn't.
Well, no. Just the fact that the guy that's playing in front of him might just be that hair step better.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, he would be a number one guy on another team.
Right.
But we just might happen to have the goalie, Carter Hart, that might be a little bit step better. That, you know what I mean? That's kind of the philosophy of how that goes. So.
Okay.
The other thing I think really, too, as well, is can this team gel defensively? Because they need to play much better than what it was last year. It was just bad. I mean, and even though there's some injuries through the middle and stuff like that, can this team put some points on the board? And can they have a much improved penalty kill?
They need to stop the we need a period to warm up kind of thing.
Yeah, we need to stop that. Exactly. We need to have our legs right away from jump.
Right.
Instead of, by 5 minutes into the second period, now, the Flyers get their legs back.
Yeah.
No.
That's when they start, pushing and scoring goals and taking chances. It's like, no, we had 20 minutes before to do that.
Exactly. One of the things that's going to be a major difference, though, is bringing in Cam Atkins, who's a shoot-first type of player.
Good.
Okay, that's going to be one of the biggest things that's going to help as well, too. Derek Broussard is a good distributor of the puck as well, too. And I'm just going to be interested to see here how these guys are going to gel together. Okay? And how this defense is going to gel together and how we're going to go from there. So.
Okay. So, hey, guess what?
What?
The Steelers won a game.
Wait, what?
Yeah, really.
Hold on. They did what?
They won a game.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
They tried not to, but they did eventually win.
Well, they kind of tried to win.
Well, except for the fourth quarter.
Yeah, the fourth quarter they were like, yeah. Yeah, right. Okay. I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've said if Ben throws the ball 25 to 35 times a game and the running back has the ball 25 times to 30 sometimes a game, that usually that equates to a win for Pittsburgh.
Right.
And what happened?
That's pretty much what happened on Sunday.
That's pretty much what happened on Sunday. What? Najee had his first 100-yard game. Chase Claypool had a great 100-yard game.
Uh-huh.
Right? I mean, Ben was 15 for 25, 227 yards. Right? 2 touchdowns. What?
I mean, there were some really nice long passes that got caught. There was a couple really nice runs that, broke through and took off,
Like, we actually played in all facets of the game successfully.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is what happens when you put it all together.
Right.
Can you just do that again?
Yeah, this is how we do it. Do it again.
Do it again. See, this is how you do it again. See, the next team comes in and you just go, okay, this is how you do it, and you do it again. Sadly, very sadly, however, we did lose JuJu Smith-Schuster to a
shoulder injury. Injury.
He had a shoulder injury. Okay. Where his assembly line crashed at the shoulder area.
I can't believe it. I'm so sad about that. I'm just so sad.
It is. He had surgery. He's going to have surgery on the 13th of October, and I believe it's a broken clavicle.
Okay.
Collarbone.
I heard separated shoulder or dislocated shoulder or something.
Dislocated or separated shoulder wouldn't be out for the rest of the season unless something was broken.
Okay.
So I believe that's what the case is, that it's broken. So he's going to have surgery on Wednesday, the 13th of October, to fix that. So he will be done for the season. So I believe that Pittsburgh is going to work out some other players. I believe I saw that Anthony Miller was one of the players that was potentially going to be working out.
Yeah.
for the Steelers here, and obviously James Washington's going to get an opportunity to come in and step in and play, and you're going to see more of Ray McLeod on the field, and then you might also see more Zach Gentry and more Fairmouth,
which may not be a bad thing.
And more a Brontosaurus.
Yeah.
He
looked good this game.
Everybody looks good when you win.
Right, that's true.
Okay. The only thing that... Well, now, we did lose Devin Bush there at the end. And he had some impactful plays in the game. Some big sacks as well. TJ Watt was impactful again as well. I mean, gosh, man.
He can't, wrap him in bubble wrap, please, because we can't win without him.
Well, I think we can, but Cam Hayward had an amazing game.
Yeah, didn't he knock down three?
Three passes he had knocked down, you know what I mean? So the defense did play well, but then they just pulled into the garage at the end of the third quarter and said, yeah, we got this.
I don't think that was it. I think it was the coach on the Broncos. Sorry, I think the coach on the Broncos found some holes and use that against us.
You could see that during the rest during most of the game, where there were certain plays, and that's kind of the issue with the Steelers' defense, is that there are potentially some soft holes in the zones where the receivers have been able to find openings and have been able to get there. Pierre, a rookie, is going to take a minute, but I really am liking what he's doing. He had that interception at the end of the game.
He saved our game.
But he's made some mistakes, but he's made up for the mistakes.
Yeah. Do you think he's learning from those
That's
mistakes?
what I mean. Yeah. See, I don't have a problem with a player that makes a mistake and then later on in the same game learns from that mistake and then doesn't make that same mistake again and makes a good play because they realized, oh, I can't do this. This is how I have to do it.
Right.
I mean, and I think he's getting that. You know what I'm saying? And kudos also to the offensive line. This was the first game that Najee Harris was able to amass 122 yards on the ground with 22 touches.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was nice. And there were holes that I saw that opened up that were like, holy moly! Now, let's also take into this little caveat that the defensive line for the Denver Broncos was pretty beat up.
Yeah.
They were missing a starting defensive lineman right from jump before the game even started.
And they lost another one.
They had two of them go down during the course of the game. One of them came back, but they still had two of them go down, and still, that's tough to deal.
Yeah, I know. I mean, so did we play better, or were we just lucky because they had a
I think it was a combination
line?
of both. I think we were able to get hats on hats and good plays, and we were able to take advantage of the fact that they were depleted a little bit in the defensive line. But it's like I said, when Ben throws the ball between 25 and 30 times a game, and the running back gets the ball between 25 and some odd times a game, the Pittsburgh Steelers are successful. Right. They almost were able to put up 30 points, okay, quite honestly. And it was their best output so far of the season.
I agree.
Mean, I think this was even a better game than the Bills game.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay. So
they looked like they wanted to win.
Yeah. Yeah, because now it's Seattle coming in and they are without Russell Wilson. So that's going to be a whole different Seattle team. Mm-hmm. Okay? And this could be an opportunity for Pittsburgh to go be able to potentially he strings some games together as wins.
That would be nice.
I mean, there's a chance. I mean, I'm not saying
there's always a chance, but
right, especially with JuJu being out. But I guess now we're gonna see what it's like with the JuJu-less Pittsburgh Steelers, because he only signed for a 1-year deal. Now, I really, honestly, I feel that he'll be one of the ones they try to bring back.
I would hope so. I mean, he's
yeah.
Not only because he's a great player, but he's a great, presence on the team. I feel like he's got that Hines Ward kind of feel. Like, everybody kind of likes him and and he brings I don't know. It could be just how I feel about him, but,
See, 5-star matchup and I both agree that JuJu is Hines Ward 2.0.
Okay.
Right? Because he's got that same thick body. Right, he doesn't necessarily shy away from the hits. We see JuJu take the hits, right? He doesn't shy away from them. You know what I mean? And so that's what I mean. So we both like to call him Hines Ward 2.0. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Looking forward to Steelers potentially being successful in Week 6, heading into the bye for them in Week 7.
Hey, we'll actually see the game next week.
Yeah, it'll actually be on TV, and so, yeah, how about that? What do you know?
However, if you can't watch the game, you can always listen to...
Oh, you can check me out on YouTube or SteelFlyers.com. I've been calling these Steelers games. It's been great. Come check us out. I can't display the game, obviously.
Right.
And I don't have any of the audio or anything. It's me calling the game, and I have a little display there where it gives you the score and who has the ball and some a little bit of information like that. I have the score down there at the bottom, so you can check the scores of the other teams and the other games that are going on.
A lively little chat session
Yeah, a little live chat session, so it's a little fun. Also.
What?
Major breaking news. SteelFlyers has now put the order in for t-shirts.
Oh, that's right.
Oh my gosh. We're going to have t-shirts. Though we're going to be able to have the website set up too, where you'll be able to buy the t-shirts right there on the website. And so, man, I'm excited. There's going to be t-shirts for the Pearl of Wisdom show, the Hockey Writers Inc. show, and also for the SteelFlyers. What do you think?
That's great. I
know, 2 colors for each shirt, or for each design. I'm excited. I'm blown away. If you must know the truth. I don't even know what to say. I'm just completely blown away. I'm over the top excited. I think it's going to be really awesome. I'm really excited about this year.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this year is going to be that year that might put us over the edge.
So, okay, we were talking about football. We went off on one of our tangents again. Steelers versus Seattle. Do you think we can win that game?
I think we have a chance.
Yeah?
Yeah. Seattle's defense has been suspect, especially their secondary.
Okay.
And their front's a little bit banged. Okay, and they're obviously without Russell Wilson.
Right.
Okay, and so that is a big hurt piece for them. Okay, everything runs through Russell Wilson in Seattle. Everything.
Yeah.
Okay, where he goes, that team goes. Okay, end of story. Drop microphone. Yeah, and what? He'll probably. I'm hoping he's going to be there at least because it's in Pittsburgh.
Oh, it is a home game.
Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the last time we played Seattle was at Seattle.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is in Pittsburgh.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So, speaking of football, we have another football team we could talk about.
Yes, we do. And I'm going to say this. I have been utterly, overwhelmingly impressed with Penn State this year, the Nittany Lions.
Yeah.
I just have been blown away by the level of play from this team, was not expecting much, especially after last year's just... Well, last year was just a tough year, I'd say. Yeah, what do you think?
That was creepy.
Yeah, that was kind of creepy. But last year was a tough year for Penn State. And this year was not really expecting much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'm trying to look up and see what their
I think they're ranked 5th.
They didn't go down much then, because they were ranked 4th, and they did lose to
6th. I'm sorry.
Okay, so they did lose to Iowa, but only because Gifford went down. I have them as 7th.
Okay.
This is the college football standings, Division 1A. So this is on the ESPN site, and Iowa moved up to number 2.
Wow. Yeah, but you know what? Iowa and Penn State was a good game. They didn't just go in there and go, okay, there's no way we can beat them. Let's just go home. They actually,
Well, let me say this, okay?
And we lost our quarterback.
Well, yeah, we watched that game, and honestly, Penn State kept giving them chances.
Yeah.
By throwing the ball to them.
Yeah.
And if it wouldn't have been for that, I don't think Iowa would have really even remotely sniffed at this game. And I think Penn State scored enough that if their defense would have not been in such horrible situations because their offense just kept giving them, no, here, you have the ball back. No, here, you have it. I mean, there was, 4 interceptions in that game?
Yes.
I mean, come on! You can't keep giving the ball back to them. Jeez. Your defense is spending all game out there. That's why I think they lost. You know what I mean? Obviously, and because they lost their quarterback.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, let's see here how bad did it get for...
Alabama lost.
I know. How dare they lose? They fell to 5th.
Wow. It's like the first game they've lost in how long?
Like, I don't know, 15, 20 years. I don't know. I'm sorry. That was bad, wasn't it?
No, I think you're right, though.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that long. But
well, if you ask some of our friends, they would tell you it's that long.
Well, one of them anyway. So, but like I said, been really exciting to see how well Penn State has been playing this season. I'm looking up here to, I think the next game is Minnesota. Maybe they're off. They might be on the bye.
Yeah, I think they're on a bye week this week.
Yeah, because I am not seeing them on the schedule for this coming week. So that'll be good. That'll give Sean time to heal or rest or whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean,
their next game is versus Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois. Okay, that's
on
Fighting
the 23rd.
Illini. So this is bye week.
Yep.
For them right now. And then at the end of the month is Ohio State.
Right, October 30th.
Right. Okay. So. Okay. I mean, it's not like it's a wretched, horrible. Okay, it is. Look, the fact that Penn State has been able to play this well with the strength of schedule that they have. I mean, they haven't really played too many quote-unquote powder puff teams.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, they started with a ranked team. The opening game.
Yeah.
So.
And then they played another ranked team, even though they lost. But it was only 20-23.
Right.
And it was only a field goal at the last minute of the game.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not like it was blowing them out.
Exactly.
Which is why I think Penn State didn't fall
that far,
because they didn't really lose by that. But see, this is going to be one of those. This is going to throw a wrench in the works here because, and now that Alabama lost as well too. Comparatively, what's their strength of schedule? Comparatively with what Penn State's strength of schedule is, and how this all is going to shake down here at the end of the year, depending on if Penn State can continue to win.
Right.
Or if Alabama can continue to win, or if other, whatever. And so, should be interesting.
At least we got a season this year with fans in the stands.
This is what Jim and I talked about extensively, at least for a good 5 minutes, in our preview show of the Philadelphia Flyers 2021. Check that out on YouTube. I was able to sit down with the voice of the Philadelphia Flyers, Jim Jackson. And we talked about that exactly, that having fans back at the stands, having a full Wells Fargo, having a full whiteout Beaver Stadium, 109,000 people.
That was awesome, wasn't it?
I mean, I don't care who you are, just seeing that's awesome sauce, man. Come on. Seeing the Heinz Field.
With the towels waving.
Rocking. Well, not that we've been able to see these games lately, but we're taking the word for it. I mean, because we can't see them. We live in Pennsylvania and we can't see the Steelers games.
Let's not go there.
Oh my gosh, man. Do you have any idea how ridiculous that sounds?
Don't even.
But
I know.
Doesn't it? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It makes you just want to curl up and do a ball.
No, the thing is that they put us in the market that they put us in, and I'm sorry, but that is even worse than not being able to see the game.
Right. What do you mean you're closer to Baltimore? What? Okay, so you're telling Pittsburgh fans that the Baltimore team is closer to you, so we're showing you the Baltimore games. I mean, that is the ultimate rub it in your face.
I think so.
Right? So that's why I'm so passionately disjointed about that. Right? Come on. No, I'm not a Ravens fan.
I don't even like the Ravens.
I mean, gosh, I bleed black and gold here, people. What do you mean, watching the Ravens?
I was in that area when they got the team. And some of the names that they came up for that team, the Ravens was actually the best one.
Yeah. I know that was a fan submission or, to fan vote or something. I would even be afraid of what some of the other names
they were. I don't remember, but I just remember thinking at the time, please don't name your team that.
Okay, I mean,
I wasn't involved as much in football then because I didn't have SteelFlyers going, hey, how about them Steelers?
See, let me tell you how you do it, gents. This is how you take care of things, okay? So when you meet your girl or your future wife or even your wife
or your spouse
or your here's what you do.
Significant other.
Here's what you do, right? See, if you are utterly passionate about going to about the Flyers, take them to a game. And then don't just take them to one. Right? Take them to like a couple. And then, right, don't take them to just Flyers games. No. Go take them to a Steelers game. Or 2 or 6.
Well, okay.
Or however many we've been to now.
let's be reasonable about it. We get to go maybe once a year and...
We've been to what? 4 or 5 games now? No. I think we've been to 6.
4.
There are
4 laying or hanging up there.
No, there's each one of those has there's 2, 4, there's 6 sets. We've been to six.
That's what I said. Woo! I said 6.
Right. Okay. So we've been to 6 games.
I really didn't say 6, by the way. I said 4, but
Okay. No, we've been to 6 games.
Okay.
All right. So there's 6 sets up there of 2. So yeah, we've been. Yeah, okay.
We've been very, very lucky.
Yes, very.
To have the opportunity to do that.
Actually, we've been to 7. I just don't have the tickets that we got from the first game. Oh, that really
first one. Let me tell you about that game.
Yes, do tell us about that game. I would be interested to hear in your perspective of this game. Now, let's set the stage first. It's December. It's
in Pittsburgh.
At Heinz Field against the Jacksonville Jaguars. It was facing the open end of the stadium, which is towards the river. And it had snowed earlier that day, and there was an ice storm earlier that day. And the snowstorm on the way to the game was quite a few inches. And then waking up the next morning in the hotel before the game, and there was 6-7 inches of snow on the ground, something like that, right? So get to the game, and I think after all the calculations, it was minus 40
with the wind chill.
Where we were sitting. No. Now, please explain to the folks where we were sitting.
Okay, first of all, I am terrified of heights. I cannot do heights. So we're climbing up these steps, and we're climbing, and we're climbing, and we're climbing, and we finally get to our seats, and there's no seats behind us because we are sitting in the very, very, very top row of the stadium in the wind of the cold and ice.
In December. In Pittsburgh. So
we tried to be prepared. We brought blankets. We had heavy coats on. We were like, okay, yeah, great, we're gonna be ready. We made it to halftime, and I did not know, but we found out that inside the stadium there's a nice little bench set up. At the time, there was a bench, like bleachers and benches and a couple of big screens, and you could watch the game inside.
They were pumping the radio in through the announcer or through the speakers in the atriums. So you get out of the stadium and go into the atrium there, and it's where the Hall of Honor is right now, is where they had this set up at Heinz Field. And you could go sit down there, and there's bleachers set up and everything. And thank God for that, because, man, I'll tell you what, until you unpeeled everything, to sit there and till you could start to feel your extremities again. By the way, I highly recommend to not take your significant other, to have that be your first game that you take them to. Although then again, maybe it is a good idea to do that, because that's what I did with RoNece, and that worked. Because now she yells at the TV more than I do.
Yeah, well.
Okay, but no, see, now that's why we do not go to games past November.
Yeah, we just can't.
Nope, not doing it.
Don't get old, folks. It's not fun.
No, but it's just I don't even want to. No, I spent years there in Pittsburgh when I was going to college, and I have no desire to be in Pittsburgh in the wintertime unless I'm like living there. I don't want to have to drive there and then try to leave there. No, not doing that. So, but kudos to Pittsburgh for a win. So let's see if we can string some of them together, at least for this next week as well, too. So,
well, that's good for Penn State that they have a bye, because their quarterback can get healthy.
That's the other thing, too, for Penn State. They're going to be off this week as well, so they get a chance to heal up. They had some players injured during the game as well, too. So it's hopefully he can come back, and continue on, because Penn State has been having a pretty darn good season so far. Well, then again, anything's an improvement over last year.
Right.
Friday, the 15th,
hockey
is the opening night of the Philadelphia Flyers. The 12th, Tuesday night, while we're recording, The Tampa Bay Lightning and the Pittsburgh Penguins are playing the opening games, if you will, for the NHL. And let's see if we can get you an update here. It is Pittsburgh 2, Tampa Bay nothing.
Wow.
With 12:42 left in the second. And then the 10 o'clock game is Seattle against Vancouver. Or Vegas Golden Knights.
Isn't Perlo doing something with that tonight?
Yeah, Perlo is going to be doing the game tonight with Seattle and Vegas.
Perlo
and John,
Wisdom.
Perlo Wisdom, and Peyton on the radio are doing the Seattle and the Vegas game, and John from Off the Wall Hockey is doing the Tampa Bay Penguins game right now.
Right.
Yeah, so
check them out on YouTube.
Please check them out for sure, and hit the like and subscribe on them as well too. They're part of the SteelFlyers All Sports Network. Please hit the like and subscribe for us. Thank you all very much for listening. Thank you all for checking us out and having fun and joining us and all other happy stuff. And man, I'll tell you what, we're getting deep into it, and we're excited. Lots of great things coming to SteelFlyers. Some changes on the website that we're going to be going on with the store edition and the addition of the shirts and swag and everything too. So, looking forward to that. Right?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. All right, folks. Just remember, stay safe, stay strong, and hang tough.